So a lot of things have been going on in the NFL. Obviously, we have the regular refs back and all that. We'll check the power rankings first, and the reason I brought up the refs is because there was, some calls during the Dallas-Cleveland game and Atlanta and Arizona. Get to that in a little bit. We'll start again with the power rankings. The Texans are number 1 still. Falcons remain at number 2 for the second straight week. The Niners jump up to 3 spots, going back to number 3. The Packers drop a spot. They are at number 4, and Baltimore remains at number 5. New England is at number 6. Denver at 7. The Bears dropping 4 spots. They're now at 8. Seahawks are at 9. They went up a spot. The Giants, New York Football Giants, are number 10, up a spot as well. Number 11 would be the Buccaneers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, going up a spot themselves. The Steelers dropping 3 spots. They are now at 12. The Saints going up 3 will be at number 13. Number 14 would be the Vikings, and wrapping up the top 15 with the Cincinnati Bengals jumping up 2 spots. They are number 15. So those are all your power rankings. If anyone has any questions or what my opinion should be, go ahead, shoot them here. Again, 209-954-5526. Also, breaking news coming in from the NFL. Plaxico Burress signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Apparently they needed a wide receiver. I have not heard anything going on with the Steelers, but they have signed Plaxico Burress. I don't know if that's any shock whatsoever, but I don't know if he will be starting, but we'll soon find out within the next coming game. Now, going back to Week 11, we'll have a quick recap here. Buffalo beat Miami 19-14. In fact, I had Miami in this game. Buffalo just outplayed them. I mean, I thought Tannehill would bounce back from his disappointing week before. I thought Bush would have a big game, but, that didn't happen whatsoever. So, I guess you just shake your head and move on to the next week. I mean, now we'll jump to Atlanta. They win at home just by a hair, 23-19 being the final score against the Arizona Cardinals. And I mentioned the whole ref thing. The turnover, that was a fumble, and yes, it was a turnover. They could not review it from the booth because it wasn't reviewable. Now, when I'm thinking about this whole turnover thing, I feel like you should be able to review it. I've watched a little bit of that play, like over and over again. They keep showing it, but they should review it. I mean, it should be reviewable. I know it went out of bounds and all that, but it just needs to be reviewed. But now just looking at the game, I mean, Matt Ryan almost blew it. Simple as that. Arizona played, pretty darn good, but Matt Ryan almost blew it. It's simple as that. And now we go to the next game. Tampa Bay winners on the road at Carolina, 27-21. And you know what? Tampa Bay is one of the hottest teams in the NFL, joining another team in their division. But did Tampa Bay just find their spark? I don't know what else you could really say about them. I mean, Josh Freeman has finally came alive. I mean, they have Vincent Jackson. He's a heck of a wide receiver. I mean, a lot of people underestimated Tampa Bay. So, we'll see what else Tampa Bay has to bring. I don't know if it's going to be enough to make a playoff push, but you never know. Another almost upset, Dallas, a winner at home in OT, 23-20, being the final score over the Cleveland Browns. Now, the Browns, they should have won this game. I mean, they were pretty much in the lead. I believe they led 10-0 going to halftime. It was 10-3, I'm probably reading up now. Yeah, it is. But I feel like Cleveland could have beaten Dallas, but they didn't. I mean, they had a lot of opportunities, and they messed up. I mean, Romo throws the interception in the fourth quarter, and they couldn't capitalize. And then they let Dallas get back in the game to tie it up with a few seconds left in the fourth, going to OT, and then bring up the refs again. There was another call that Ed Hockley couldn't, place his finger on, or saying the turnover could not be reviewed, so they just moved on from there. Next game, you're looking at Green Bay winners on the road 24-20 over the Detroit Lions. Now, Green Bay, another one of these teams that almost were upsetted, but I don't feel like Green Bay played that good of a game. I mean, yeah, they win with the last couple seconds, but they should have lost this game. Detroit pretty much outplayed them. But what can you say? Detroit, came back. They have Megatron. They have Stratford. I mean, that team is good, but their defense is still suspect, and I'm talking about the Lions here. I mean, what else can you do about it? I mean, Green Bay always finds a way to win. I mean, come on, Aaron Rodgers, they have everyone. Simple as that. Next game, we go to Houston and Jacksonville. Houston being a winner in OT, 43-37 over the Jaguars. Jaguars should have had this game. This is another team that, yes, is struggling throughout this whole season, but I thought they could actually pull this one off. I watched not the interviews, but the highlights of this game. I mean, Jacksonville will outplay them. I mean, Chad Henne's really picking up that team. It makes you think picking up Blaine Gabbert was kind of a joke. I mean, we're seeing better out of Henne than anyone else. I mean, maybe the whole Tebow thing may be blown away now, but I feel like Henne's a better QB than Gabbert. I mean, God, Henne really outplayed him. But you know what? Houston, they have Andre Johnson, who pretty much won it for them, but what I'm hearing from my friends, they say, oh, it's not that it's not that Houston won the game, it's Jacksonville's defense who lost it for them. We'll jump to another game, Cincinnati and Kansas City, and it looks like I am not a loner whatsoever. Get in the second chair, since the other guy ain't showing up. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Pete. How are you, Pete?
I'm good. Pistol Pete's in the house.
Where the heck were you, by the way?
I got stuck in a lab with Mr. Matt trying to do my ultimate project, which I almost forgot about.
Oh, dear. Aren't you smart?
Smart. Let's define that word, smart.
I was saving a special topic for you if you ever came in, and I'll save it when we go to break later. But now I'm on the Cincinnati and Kansas City game. If you want to post your reviews about these other games, we'll jump back to them real quick. But Cincinnati and Kansas City 28-6 winners. Kansas City's pretty bad. Wouldn't you agree?
If you can't beat Cincinnati, then you really do stink.
Well, Kansas City, they almost beat the Steelers a week ago, and as I said before you got here, they just signed Plaxico Burress.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try to shoot themselves in the leg.
Oh, God. You have to jump to that. I guess I'm playing the part of Richard today, if you really want to go that far. But you know what? You got to admit Cincinnati's a good team. I mean, the AFC North seems like they're somewhat up and down. I mean, yes, the Ravens don't have Lewis anymore, and their defense somewhat struggles, but now they have an offense. And then the Steelers' offense, is starting to age, but they did have Ben Roethlisberger, who wasn't playing. Leftwich did all right, but now he's hurt.
Yeah, and now they have who's the next victim? I mean, quarterback.
I think it's Dixon to be quite. Is it Dixon? I'm not 100% sure.
Is it Dixon? I thought it was somebody else. I thought it was. Oh my God, I can't remember his name.
We'll look up his name in a bit, but you know what? That AFC North. Anyone can really come out of that now.
Yeah. There's just too many people hurt in the AFC North right now. I mean, the Steelers, they're aging, and they're losing their players left and right. I mean, too many bad hits, helmet-to-helmet contact, and you get guys suspended for a stupid boneheaded hit like that. So, I mean, the AFC North, they're in full collapse now.
Simple as that. All right. The Jets, winners on the road, 27-13 against the Rams. Well, you picked that one?
No, I'm just happy that the Jets finally won again.
I don't think they'll win on Thanksgiving. They're playing New England, but no more Tebow talk? You think that's done?
You know what? Like I always said, every dog has his day, and that was the Jets' turn. They had their day that day. But as for next week, they're not going to have that same kind of luck.
Well, we'll see if they could pull an upset on Thanksgiving, which is highly unlikely. Washington winners over Philly, 31-6 at home, and Philly, what is it, 6 straight losses?
Yeah, that's Andy Reid is done.
He's sadly done.
He's done. He's just like I mean, it's just as bad as Cal and Jeff Tedford getting just leaving Cal's program.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that. I mean, you have that kind of year in and year out. Don't let the door hit you on the butt on the way out.
What do you think of the rookie QB they had? What's his name? Nick Foles? I know he didn't play that well, but I mean, this was pretty much the week of the backup quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, it was. But as for Foles, oh man, I think the CFL is going to be knocking on your door in a couple of weeks.
Jeez, you have to really jump that far.
That's how it is. I mean, that's probably the worst quarterbacking job I've seen in a while.
Oh boy. Speaking of worst quarterback jobs, I don't know if you can blame it on him, but this team's actually pretty hot. The Saints winners at Oakland, 38-17. I mean, Drew Brees, yeah. But what's with Carson Palmer for the Raiders? Come on.
Carson Palmer, he's so overrated. I mean, he was already overrated when he was in Cincinnati. I mean, even when he was at USC, he was already overrated. Yeah, he was good because he had all these guns at his disposal when he was at USC, and then you put him on a team like Cincinnati,
yeah,
and you're just asking for a bust.
You pretty much are. Now the next game, Denver winners at home, 30-23 over the Chargers. There should not be no shock because Chargers are also one of those teams that have been struggling all year.
Yeah, that's no shock. I mean, Denver, they pretty much handled the Chargers. I don't know what to say about the Chargers besides, you know what? Alex Smith might be a good fit in your lineup next
Yeah, probably in the future after what we saw Monday night. We'll get to that in a moment. New England creams the Colts 59-24, even though I have the Colts winning this game. I think you did too.
Yeah, I did.
And apparently Richard was actually right.
That's because he's always on his meds and can pretty much see the future.
Oh, my God. But, you know, Luck didn't play that well. He threw 3 picks.
Yeah.
I mean, what else can you say about him? I mean, he just struggled. That's all you can say. And New England actually showed they had a defense. That's a first.
Well, the thing about that was, I mean, you have the rookie quarterback against a proven veteran.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have a rookie against a proven veteran, you got to go with that proven veteran time in and time out. Because I mean, rookie quarterbacks they'll show good spots at where they have good potential. And then the next week it's completely the opposite.
All right, I got you. Now going to probably the most boringest game on Sunday night, but probably the most fun-filled when it came to fans. Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Baltimore winning on the road 13-10, and as I said, Plaxico Burress is now a Steeler because they just signed him. I don't know what kind of help he could be.
I don't see what kind of help he can be either, because I mean he's had a stint with the Giants and the Jets in the past 5 years,
and also the Steelers as well,
and the Steelers, and I don't know. There's just some reason why. I just see a reason why Pittsburgh didn't re-sign him in the first place.
I mean, jumping back to this game, this was actually a pretty good game to watch. Yeah, it was boring, but for the fans, they really liked this.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was a great defensive game. Pittsburgh's defense, they remind me a lot of the Steel Curtain, and then you have Baltimore's defense. They're no slouches themselves. That's why I'm not shocked that it was a 13-10 game.
And now going to the big game, and Richard was just going nuts on this, saying I think there's a quarterback controversy. Kaepernick having a day with the Bears, 32-7 being the final score. Is there a controversy?
It's still too early to tell. I mean, this is only Kaepernick's first start. It's like, you know, you have one good game and you're already automatically thinking, oh, we got a dynasty going on here. Nah, it's not going to work that way. If Alex Smith has a chance to start next Sunday, I want him to start.
And I mean, same here. I mean, we know Kaepernick can run. We noticed he can throw too.
Yeah, he's a stud. He has a cannon for an arm.
I mean, he has a future.
Yeah. He really does. He is the future of it could be the Niners franchise or any other franchise that's willing to take him up. But as for right now, You gotta give the edge to Alex Smith because of his experience in the NFL.